especially for those on this YouTube street that want to carry their cameras to the delivery room to vlog it. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about my antenatal visit experience. I'll be answering some questions that bothered me during my time whilst I'm selecting honey beans, usually called brown beans in Nigeria. So if you're interested in any of this, or you want to find out what I want to use these beans for, stay till the end of this video. When I went to do my pregnancy test, if you want to hear the whole story of how I went to the hospital to do my pregnancy test and how I found out I was pregnant, please watch my previous video where I told people how I found out I was pregnant. So yes, when I went to do the test, the nurse in the hospital gave me a card and she told me to come back in the next 3 weeks to start, 3 months rather, to start antenatal care, antenatal visits. And for someone that is, for a first time mom, I'm like, okay, so what's this all about? So today I'll be giving you questions I had to deal with and I had to find answers to. Firstly, let me start with answering what antenatal care is. Now, antenatal care is a kind of preventive health care given to one by a health professional. It's given to a pregnant woman by a health professional. It lasts during the period of pregnancy. The advantage of this is to help the pregnant woman maintain a healthy lifestyle, is to teach her the art of child care, especially for first-time moms like us, and then is to ensure that she has a safe delivery and gives birth to a healthy baby. Now, does that sound like something you want for yourself? Let's stick till the end of this video. Before I continue my gist on antenatal care, let me just talk a little about what I'm doing. Now, this is brown beans, not usually called honey beans. In Nigeria, we call it brown beans. I've always known this as brown beans until I used Google to check, and they say it's honey beans. And Google said it's called honey beans because in Yoruba land they call this ewa oloyin. In my language, which is Ogoni, they call beans kere. So yes, Yoruba call it ewa oloyin, that's for the brown beans, because of its sweet taste. Actually, I used to eat the black-eyed pea beans. That's the white beans, which we have the iron beans and the smaller ones here in Nigeria. Nigerians understand what I'm talking about until I started tasting this, and then this is one I've been buying since I got married. The white one, no good area. That one I took to my mother's house, but right now this is the beans I've been eating. So back to antenatal care gist. Now, number one question I asked myself then was, is antenatal care necessary? This question comes to the mind of some people. It came to my mind, so I believe it comes to the mind of some people. That was my first question, because the area I wanted to be sure if it's really necessary, if I have to go, because of where I was, it was a rural area, and I told myself I wasn't going to go back to the hospital where I did a test for my antenatal visit. So my husband put a call through to one of his doctor contacts, and then the guy was like, it's not really compulsory, I should just eat right, and then know the hospital I want to give birth, and after that I can go and check on them and give birth. I'm like, really? For someone that doesn't have an idea, I think that would work for someone that's a pro mom that's giving birth to two. But for me, that is a first timer. It didn't go down well with me. So we put a call through to another doctor. I believe the first doctor was saying it out of his experience. He said his wife didn't go. Of course, he's a doctor, so anything his wife needs, he'll provide. I'm not married to a doctor. So the second doctor told me no, that I should enroll and attend the class. It's important for me so that I can get checked. So the answer to my question, or to your question too, is antenatal care visits necessary? Especially for a first-time mom, yes, it is necessary. It's very important. Now, this is the period where the doctor does a lot of check on you. They check to see if there's an underlying issue. They check to see your health, to know your health history. Another advantage of this antenatal care and antenatal visit is because you get to socialize with other potential moms, other pregnant women, and then you now find out that you're not alone in the journey. Maybe there are some challenges you've had. You now find out that somebody else is going through the same, and you find out how to tackle it from advice from your doctor and not from those women who take it from your doctor. So yes, it's very important. At least you go out, you see other women that are going through what you're going through, and you get checked for underlying issues. Like during my time, there was a period that I almost came down with malaria, serious one, and typhoid. And if I wasn't doing antenatal classes, I don't think I'd have known what was wrong with me, and they won't have I won't have been administered drugs too. And also, the way you go for checkup too, they administer some drugs to you, folic acid and the rest of them. So it's important. Yes, some of our foods we eat contains folate, but for those that have tendency of having a very crucial birth, I think it's important. I know it's important yet. Attend antenatal classes. For first-time moms, it's compulsory. At least you have to learn, even though yes, it's to be someone that gave birth, just to learn from them. Now let's talk a little about my honeybeans. Why am I diverting? Because I'm doing honeybeans, and there are some people that are not interested in pregnancy story. Just want to know what this woman. I'm curious about what this beans is all about. Okay, well, so honeybeans can be used to make akara. They can also be used to make moi moi. So honey beans is very tasty when you use it to make all of these African dishes. My favorite people watching this, you wonder what's akara, what is moi moi. This is a Nigerian. I don't know in other parts of Africa they do this. One is boiled, and then one is fried. One, it can be baked, one called baked beans. Some can put it in the oven for moi moi, while akara goes in the hot oil. So the baked beans is the moi moi, while the fried beans is akara, which can be eaten with bread and all. Another thing they use honey bean to do is bean porridge, which is very, very tasty. But my first experience with brown beans, honey beans, was when we ate rice. If you mix this, you boil white rice and you prepare tomato sauce, which we call stew generally here in Nigeria. You prepare tomato sauce, and then you boil these beans without adding anything to it, just a pinch of salt, and you put it as a side dish with the rice and with the stew, or also called tomato sauce. It's heavenly. So that's my first encounter with honey beans. Naturally, when I was much younger, it's usually the black-eyed ones that my mom used to buy. She used to buy that one more. But growing up, I enjoyed this one, and this is what I've been giving to my daughter. Okay, so let's go back to my antenatal care story. Another reason why antenatal care is very important is it helps prevent maternal death and child death. And the next question on my list is, when should one start antenatal care? It's different strokes for different folks. I don't know the schedule in other countries, but how I did mine was the nurse told me to come in the next 3 months. So generally, I would say generally in the area I gave birth, 3 months period after the first trimester, that's when you should start your antenatal care. Some people say immediately you find out you're pregnant, they may schedule a meeting for you. It depends on the pregnancy. You know, some people have underlying issues that they need to see the doctor often. So it depends on your health professional. So I can't answer that question fully, but for me, it was after the first trimester I started. In fact, I started during the 5th month, which was late because of delay, but it's important. After the first trimester, you enroll and start your antenatal care. But the question is, what's the schedule like for antenatal care? The schedule is you attend once every 4 weeks from your 12th week to your 28th week of pregnancy. You attend once in every 4 weeks. That's like once in every month. Then from your 28th week to your 36th week, you attend once in every 2 weeks. Once in every 2 weeks, that's 2 times a month, from the 28th week to the 36th week. Then from the 36th week till delivery period, you attend once every week. Some people may say twice, depends on what your health professional tells you, but this is the normal schedule they give to us. Now, what day of the week is antenatal care? It depends on your health professional. It depends on the hospital you register. There was one that did, the first I acquired, did Saturdays, and then the next one was Wednesday. You find out why did I do 2 antenatal classes. That leads me to my next question. The question of, must one deliver where they attended antenatal classes? My answer to that is a big no. Actually, I did not deliver where I started my antenatal classes, because when I started the first one, which I was seeing the doctor on Saturdays, that was after I came up with malaria, and so I spoke with the doctor that advised us to enroll, and then he was telling us that this is part of the things they are supposed to give you: preventive medicine. They give you malaria preventive medicine, and since the doctor didn't give that, he doesn't think that's a good health center, so I should think of another one. So I made more inquiry, and then I decided I was going to attend my antenatal class in this other place where I gave birth. It's not like it was perfect, but I thank God for everything. So yes, you mustn't attend antenatal class where you're giving birth, but you should, before delivery or within the period of pregnancy, visit the hospital where you're to give birth. And also, the first place you did your antenatal class, maybe because of distance, you want to give birth in so place, but you registered in a place closer to your house. When you are taking all of your information, you're running some tests, you should have a photocopy of the tests you ran in the previous hospital you did antenatal care. So if they're doing scan, they're running malaria tests, they're running every test, you should have a photocopy of the results. Ask them for it when you know you're not giving birth in that hospital, so that when you move to the hospital of delivery, you can have your health record. They will have your health record, and they will not now want to start running tests on you when they're supposed to attend to you to give birth. Also, there's some people that didn't really plan to change hospitals, that they didn't even plan to give birth in another one, but due to circumstances of where they find themselves during the labor, they have to give birth there. So those people too, it's good, just have your record in your delivery bag. Every test have the record in your delivery bag, so you can give it to the new hospital you are to give birth in. Look at your health history and attend to you immediately. So the next question on my list is, can I go with my husband? Yes, the answer to that is yes, a big yes. If your husband is willing, why not? It's good to even attend the classes with him, so he'll understand you better, understand what you're going through better, and know how to take care of you too. You can also go with any caregiver, your mom, anybody that's going to go through during the period of pregnancy and delivery. Go with them so they'll hear what you're hearing. And the doctor told me in my time that you should avoid everything caffeine and alcohol. Family members sometimes want to tell you, take this one, it will help your breast flow better. Take this, it will help do this. But it's good you go with them so they'll hear, or even go with your husband if he's willing to go with you, so that he will hear and he'll be able to defend you when these people come with different ideologies, so that you don't look like you're being disrespectful. So it's important you go with them if they're willing. Of course, why not? Now, the final question on my list is, how long is the class? The class it depends on your health professional. For me, it was like 30 minutes to 1 hour is enough to teach you, except for days where you're running some tests and you want to see the final results. So 30 minutes to 1 hour, that's it for me. That was my experience. If you had something different, please put it in the comment section. If you've come this far in this video and then you've not clicked this like button, you've not subscribed, you're not trying, you don't have plans of sharing this video, please allow God use you. Use you and support me. I'm giving you 2 different packages in one. Please support this channel by clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel. Before I continue with my antenatal visit story, let's talk a little about my brown beans. For those curious mind, I told you I'll tell you what I want to do with this, but let's talk a little about this. some advantages of brown beans, honey beans. One advantage is it promotes weight loss, because it contains dietary fiber, which helps to make one feel full. You can just eat it and feel full, and then when you feel full, you won't have the need to eat a lot. So it promotes weight loss. Another thing, brown beans is also good for cancer patients. It's good for diabetics too, and it contains carbohydrates, contains protein, it contains good fats. So it's very, very, very healthy. So if you're thinking of eating something healthy and if you're thinking of losing weight, watching your weight, and still eating healthy, this is the go-to for you. Honey beans, or beans at large, but honey beans is tastier. Okay, another advantage of beans is it prevents malnutrition. Generally you say those that have children kwashiorkor, they lack protein. It contains protein, helps prevent malnutrition. This is a whole lot in one. It's also good for children. I think I will do another video on that later on. So yes, brown beans is good for children. It's very, very healthy. So coming back to my antenatal visit, let's talk about some possible questions you'll be asked during your antenatal visit. Now, the first thing you should know, as a woman, you should know your menstrual cycle. This will be used to calculate your EDD, expected date of delivery, or your estimated due date. That's your EDD. So it will be used to calculate that. So it's good you know your cycle, you know the date of your previous period, so the date of when next you're supposed to see your period. That's for those that are pregnant already. Then for those expecting, you should download the calendar, a menstrual cycle calendar, so you can keep track of your menstrual health record. Number 2 is they want to know if you've had some underlying illnesses, if you've been pregnant before, if you've given birth before, if you've had an abortion, or you've had a miscarriage. And this will help the doctor know how you'll be able to handle that and how you can handle this new pregnancy. So it's good you just give them all the information they need. Next, also they'll also check your height, your weight, your blood pressure. They'll check your heartbeat. They'll do abdomen palpitation. This can come in later on in the pregnancy to check the position of the baby and to check the heartbeat. They also check the heartbeat of the baby. They also do urine tests, blood tests. They'll do to check your sugar level. They'll also do cervical smear. So, and they're just series of them. It's a complete body checkup. I mean, God is using you to do this creation story, so you have to be in good health. So yes, prepare for it. This can come different periods of time during this antenatal visit, but it's good just prepare your mind and prepare financially and physically. Now, the next on my list for this antenatal visit vlog is some possible questions. I'll be sharing with you some possible questions you should ask your health professional when you go for antenatal visit. Number 1 is your expected due date. Naturally, when you come, they give it to you. The hospital, they gave it to me. So even when you do some scan, they'll give it to you. But it's also important you just ask, so you prepare ahead. Pregnancy lasts for 40 weeks and at most 42 weeks. So, and giving birth, some people give birth 2 weeks before the 40 weeks. Some people give birth 2 weeks after the 40 weeks. So you have to prepare ahead. Some people do that earlier. Mine was earlier. You hear the story as you continue with me in this motherhood series. So yes, it's good to just prepare ahead. It's good to know your EDD. So for those that just found out you're pregnant, find out your EDD so you can plan ahead. Now the second question, actually I wrote down my questions. Let me just flip my book. Okay. The second possible question is what to eat and what not to eat. Some people will say, I already know what to eat, I'm eating healthy. It's just to eat healthy. Yes, my health professional told me to avoid caffeine, avoid alcohol. But for those that have some underlying illnesses, there's some things you should avoid generally. And there's some people that are allergic to some certain things without even knowing. Pregnancy comes with a lot of things. So it's good to speak to a health professional. Yes, it's good to take advice from pro moms. For those that are experienced, I'm not giving you an advice as an OB-GYN. I'm only giving you my experience. It's good to speak to a health professional. They are the ones doing the checkup, so they are the ones that know what is good for you this period. So ask them what to eat and what not to eat. For those that, especially those that are very tender and may have underlying illnesses, know what to eat and what not to eat, and what to avoid. Number 3 on my list is things you need for delivery. For those of us here in Nigeria, when I was pregnant, they gave me, so people were telling me, oh, so hospitals have pregnancy lists. In fact, I even told someone that had given birth to write a list, hospital list for me. But when I went to the hospital, I asked the doctor, said, can I get your hospital list? He said, there's nothing, you don't need to bring anything, just your children, just your baby things, just the things, your baby clothes, and the things, your baby things you need for delivery, your baby clothes and body lotion and soap and all that. That's all. But every other thing will be provided by the hospital. Some people will say bring olive oil, bring this, bring that. Not all hospitals, but it's just good to find out. If they have a list, take the list. If they don't have a list, ask them what do I need to bring. But if you don't know, especially for my first time, don't assume it. Don't work with just lists you find online, because the experience may be different. So it's good you ask questions. They say here in Nigeria that person who asks questions know they miss road. If you ask questions, you will never get lost. You will not suffer what the ignorant suffer. So the next question on my list is to ask is the cost of delivery. Very important. You have to plan ahead. For the period you find out you're pregnant, you're going to spend some money and you have to plan ahead. So you have to find out the cost of delivery, the vaginal delivery, cesarean section, or in case there's any emergency, what extra charges will there be? They're not praying for emergency. However, plan yourself financially so you know this is how much this hospital costs. Can I afford it? Good. So it's good to know the cost of delivery. It's something you should ask the health professional. Then the next question is delivery options. What kind they handle in that hospital? There are some hospitals that don't have specialists for some certain cases. In case that happens to you and then you now move in there and they say, oh, we don't have a specialist for this. You didn't ask, so it's better you ask questions. Ask questions and find out, do they have for this, do they have for that? They say, we don't do this here. You know, and then you pack your things and leave. The next question on my list is, can you know your midwives? Yes, ask them to know the midwives they have. You know, you're familiar with the midwives already. I know in public hospitals, most women get to meet the midwives. Midwives, I think they handle a lot of things. If it's different, please comment in the comment section. It's good to know your midwife so you feel comfortable. In fact, the period of labor is the period where it takes the grace of God. So it's a period where you need people you can trust. I didn't get the chance to meet midwives in the new hospitals to deliver in. I didn't get the opportunity to do that. But the good thing that helped me was I prayed about it. I prayed a lot about it. I said, God, please put the right people there. Any wrong nurse, because some nurses can be funny in this country. So I said, any wrong one, please take them out. And God answered my prayer. The person that attended to me was very caring and understanding. Although there was one wrong one, but thank God she didn't attend to me personally. The person that attended to me, in fact, after the morning, after I gave birth, that person that attended to me, that nice nurse, she left and never came back. So I was like, that's an angel that just came to help me. Because if I was left in the hand of the other one that was assisting her, I'd have seen a lot of troubles. So yes, it's good to know your midwives, and also it's good to pray that God puts in the right people there. So next question on my list is the hospital policy for family members during delivery and after delivery. This is a very important question to ask because for me, I asked the doctor for the one during the delivery, especially for those on this YouTube street, not to carry their cameras to the delivery room to vlog it. The doctor told me that they don't allow family members in the delivery room because that makes the woman not to cooperate sometimes. So it's their policy. No family member is allowed. Imagine if I had gone ignorantly. That's how I'll be thinking my husband will be there and they'll be arguing. So it's better to avoid that. Just find out from them. Now also the one of after delivery. I didn't ask of after delivery because naturally I felt after I give birth, I'll have family members with me. But this hospital people said no. They will assign a nurse to you to be with you when you give birth. The family members are not allowed to stay in the hospital till after 8 o'clock in the evening. So that's how my husband left me alone with my baby, and then I was assigned a nurse who really didn't want to take care of me. This would be just for another day, but it was really well. I thank God for everything. If I had asked that question, I'm sure I would have had a change of mind before giving birth in that hospital. So yes, ask them questions. In case you know you really need, it's good to have the family members you can trust them, because these people they assign to you, they have their own issues, except the very good ones. Please be a good nurse watching this. Kudos to you. There are really some terrible ones. I've seen some terrible ones, and that's why I'm talking. Because the one that was assigned to me, she's one of the terrible ones. I know there are some good nurses out there, especially the midwife that attended to me. And so before I go to the final thing on my antenatal class, let's just, for those curious minds that are saying, she said she's going to tell us what she's going to do with these beans, brown beans, honey beans. Well, these honey beans, I'm going to use it as a side dish for my rice, white rice, and my tomato sauce. So if you guess that correctly, yes, that's what I'm craving for: white rice, brown beans, and tomato sauce. You just boil the rice, boil the beans like you boiled the rice, put it together as side dishes, and then put your tomato sauce, mix them all together. It gives joy. If you want to see me vlog, cooking vlog, put it in the comment section. I'll think about it and I'll try it. Just put it in the comment section and I'll try it. I mean, after this motherhood series, I may delve into giving you kitchen vlog. So put in the comment section. And then I've told you, for those that are not Nigerians, what akara is. What moi moi is. Akara is a fried beans mixed with pepper, onion, and crayfish blended together. Just Google what akara is, or maybe one day I'll prepare akara and vlog it. Then moi moi is a big beans. You can put in the oven. Some people use it put in a pot to boil it. They are all tasty. My mom can go with boiled egg in it, fish in it, meat in it. If you don't know what this is, Google it or find out from your Nigerian brother. I store my beans in. For those that don't know how to store this, I store my beans in the freezer. I do that because of weevil. Weevil attack beans a lot. I used to store it in the kitchen in an airtight container, but before you know, I don't know where these weevils appear from. They crawl into the beans, so I started storing it in the freezer after googling it, and that's been a lifesaver. Very neat, stress-free. Even if you bought the one that has weevil in it, just put it in an airtight container, put it in the freezer. The weevils will die and they'll stop disturbing. Or some people that may not have steady light because of this part of the country, you can also put chili pepper inside the airtight container where the beans is. It will make the environment really hot for them and kill them. So that's one solution, which I haven't tried, but yes, people give that. And I see people in the market put chili in it, so it works for them. So that works too. So I've told you how to store your honey beans. And finally, you can ask any other question. Ask to see their facilities. Ask every question you can think of, especially for my first time moms. Ask, do not assume anything. Do not take wholly the advice of those people that have supposedly given birth. talk to your health professional because they're the ones that have your health history. They're the ones checking you. So ask questions, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for coming, for watching till this time. My name is Nonobai Jimabi. It was wonderful talking with you. I'll see you in my next video. Please, before you go, just do something
Thanks
for me.
watching.
Like
Please
this video,
subscribe to my
subscribe to this channel, share this video with someone that enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.